We are going to talk about stateless components today. In the React architecture, you would think React is the V in MVC, right? No, actually React is the V and C. Dan Abramov explained it very well, dividing all the components in presentational components and containers. Let's take a look. Presentational, dumb, or pure stateless components. They are concerned how things look. They don't specify how data is mutated, and they don't have state. Containers components, impure, smart, or stateful components. They are concerned how the things work. They normally call flux redux actions, and they normally have state because they are working as data source. There's a lot of content about that on the internet, but before diving into the code, let's take a look at how stateless components can help us. Easy to test. Since we have a straightforward and simple component without state, anything changes. The component will always return the same thing for us, based on props. So, for testing, we just need to pass props and see what the component returns. Easy to understand. If you look at a stateless component, we'll easily figure out what it does. Normally, it doesn't have a state and it doesn't have much code inside. For example, if you have a stateless components always return the same tags and printing, for example, hello world, you can easily understand what this component does. Enforce best practice. If you divide your components into dumb, smart components, you probably have a good division and a well-structured code. This is good, no? Refactoring purpose. If you want to refactor code later, and if you have divided the code using this standard, it will be easier to refactor. After that, if you use some state library like Redux, it will be easier to be added. Now let's make a prototype of an app just using stateless components. But why? Because it's very simple and we just need to pass props. Props will be our content. You can find the entire code in our GitHub in the following link. Our application has two screens. The first screen will be a list of all the React Native documentation, and the second screen will be the content. At the index.ios.js, we have a navigator with our two routes. As screens, we will have a main and details doc. Main contains our list, and details should contain the component description. We are passing as initial route the main component, where the key is first. Our React Native docs is a stateless component. Let's check the main component. It is a stateless component. We are receiving the props. In this case, is the props from Navigator, where we are passing to the list docs. Look at this component and see that just looking at the first time, you can figure out what it does. Let's check our list docs. Our list docs is a simple list view implementation. We already saw a similar code when we are studying about list views. So this code should be familiar to you. Here we are passing some fake data to our data source, and this is not a stateless component. Let's go back to our main screen and check the second route. Let's see our details doc. Here we are not passing anything, just showing a static text. This is also a stateless component. The only component using state here is our list docs, because we need the state for the list view component. One of the good things about using stateless component is that it helps us to structure our project. As we said, stateless components have some benefits, and it's worth using those. Next time you are going to create a component, be careful before starting to write a class. See you soon.